One of the objectives of SIVIO Institute is that we want to move people from personality-based politics to issue-based politics, where you are not a long way to go. The first year of the Second Republic, now we're going to the tracker. So this is how it looks like if you go to our website. We've got, it's very interesting. If you see at the top there, policy tracker, if you click there, you'll find something else that is totally different. It's called Open Budget ZIM. We have tracked government expenditure since dollarization up to now, looking at sectoral allocations, etc., etc. Because one of the challenges that we have in this country is having a proper repository of data. When you begin to discuss the economic situation in Zimbabwe, there are many statistics fly. We're quoting from the World Bank, from the IMF, etc. ZimStats also we quote, but I think there's one challenge to say, how do we create data? But we have to make sure that that data is something that a citizen, a journalist can use. We have packaged in such a way that it's highly visual, it's easier to follow and to track. But ours is called the Zim Citizens Watch. So we are saying we are part of Zimbabwean citizens, and we are watching government and we are tracking. Like I said, what we use as the basis of our tracker is the manifesto. So we have analyzed the manifesto of the MDC Alliance. We've got it. We said if they win, that's what we're going to use. We analyzed the manifesto of ZANU-PF. We've got it. Now that, and soon after inauguration, that's what went live. Since inauguration, that's what went live. And we've clustered the promises into 9 areas. Promises. We also track what we call broken promises. I'll explain what that means.
Economic prosperity. We want inclusive economic growth. That's the agenda. That's our
mention of the anti-China narrative, which is not our problem. That is a problem of big power competition. The question we should ask, given what imperialism has done to this continent from the time of slavery, what it did in the colonial period, and what it has done under SAPS as expressed in the mineral sector. When we come to deal with China, how do we apply the lessons of? So
what seems for many academics like an abstract discussion on whether it should be democracy first or development first actually became a concrete issue of choice that confronted many. And for those of them who pushed the line that it was important to mobilize the population around a shared project of development, it was easy to begin to make the transition away from multi-party politics on the basis of which most of the countries of the continent attained independence, and to introduce the single-party idea and practice that came to dominate our continent in the period from the early 1960s to the end of the 1980s. But every good idea also does have its own corrupting effects. The concentration of power, the idea that the state needed to be built and that only the state could constitute the project of unity, translated into political practice, actually became the core of the origins of post-colonial authoritarianism. One nation, one destiny, under one God, with one leader.
Forget that. Whatever we do, we must be we need a paradigm. We talk about economic systems, yeah? Right? Americans believe in individualism. Uyazibonela indoda ifazi iyazibonela, right? Uyazibonela, it's not here, right? The Scandinavians, it's a social, they've got a very strong social foundation. The state must be accountable. Why do we have people on the streets? You know, under Ian Smith, because they were conscious about it. I was watching the video where Ian Smith was saying, the economy is having challenges. He was asked about sanctions. They're saying, oh yes, I can't deny that they're not there, but we have found ways of averting them, and the economy is actually doing well. We are now industrializing and so forth. But however, there's growing unemployment amongst the blacks. There was a conscious decision amongst the whites that there is no white person who must be to advise. We wrote a piece that is called "To Compensate or Not to Compensate." It advises government on what to do with regards to compensation for land. Because there was a debate leading to February, March, when Tuli had announced that they were beginning to pay compensation to former large-scale commercial farmers. And a debate raged on Twitter. Even those who are opposed to government saying, why are we paying for our own land, etc., etc. At times the debate is always funny. Those who say that at the time they're saying something else. Then we began to say, but look, this is not a new policy. Government has been compensating since fast track, since 2003, but it's been moving at a slow pace. And it's also been contested because government saying we're not going to pay for the land, we'll pay only for the improvements on the land. Now there's clarity because SB Moyo has come in his piece that was in foreign policy to say on beeper farms we're paying even for the land. Yeah? So you can see the shift in government policy. So we were suggesting how government can actually raise the money to pay for that, for those farms, for that compensation, establishment of the compensation fund through making sure that farmers who got land